Very good morning, friends. Myself, Dr. Naval Singh Todawat, Assistant Professor in the subject of Botany from Moreshwar Arts, Science and Commerce College, Bokardan. Well, friends, we were discussing on the Mendelisms. While studying the Mendel history, how he was sparked and charged to study the character of the organisms which were transferred from one to next generation. And as we know, he was the monk. He used to live in the church, and the question arises in his mind, and he started experimenting on the pisum plant, that is, on the pea plant. Well, behind selecting the pea plant, he thought that the pea plant can be uh, grown for thrice in a year due to its short lifespan, like annual or perennial. It might not be possible to study due to this perennial nature, and that is why he selected the seasonable plant, that is the Pisum sativum, and he studied all the seven characters in that, and and the opposite characters or contrasting characters were studied and experimented by the Mendel. Well, in this seven character, he selected the height of the plant, that is tall or dwarf, then the stem of the plant, then the number of flowers, then and the color of seeds, shape of seeds, then the shape of pods, and so on. So, friends, his experiments brought two generalization which later became known as Mendelian inheritance and the Mendel's law of heredity. These are two terms which are used in the field of genetics. Experiments on plant hybridization, that was read to the Natural History of Society of Brunn on February 8 and was published in 1866. Well, we have gone all through this history. So now the very first law, that is the law of dominance. When the pure two line, when the pure two parents are crossed, and the progeny which is obtained from that, the genes or the traits which shows the phenotypically characters in the progeny, those characters are to be as a dominant, and the character or the traits which are suppressed and don't show the phenotypically in the organisms, but thus the genes are present with the alleles, and such a genes or such a characters are to be called as the recessive characters. But the thing is that though the genes of the dominant as well as the recessive are present in the particular or a specific individual. For example, when the pure tall plant, that is capital double T, is crossed with the pure dwarf plant, that is small double t, one of the gene from the tall parent and one of the gene from the dwarf pure parent will be seen in the progeny. That progeny shows both of the genotype, that is one capital T and one smaller t of for the tallness. Though phenotypically you see the plant is tall, but the genes of the dwarf plant is also present in the progeny, and that states the law of dominance. The second law, the important principle of the Mendel's law of independent assortments, is that the emergence of one character will not affect the emergence of another. That means the segregation, separation, what we call it as in assortment, while his experiment mixing one trait always resulted that is 3:1 ratio. Well, we call it as the monohybrid ratio 2. In figure 1, between dominant and recessive phenotypes, his experiments with the two characters shows 9:3:3:1 ratios. Well, in dominant and recessive, see, the Mendel concluded that each organism carries two sets of information about its phenotype. If the two sets differ on the same phenotype, one of them dominates the other. The way information can be passed on through the generation even if the phenotype is not expressed. F1 generation to the F2 generation. The most important principle of Mendel's law of independent assortment is that the emergence of one character will not affect the emergence of another. The second, that is the law of segregation. Alternative versions of genes account for variations in inherited character. This is the concept of alleles. Alleles are different versions of genes that impart the same characteristics. For example, each human has a gene that control heights, but there are variations among these genes in accordance with the specific height the gene codes for it. So this is the law of segregation. Each genes or each trait works on that particular genes. For each character, an organism inherits two genes. Well, for a single character or for a specific character, the particular organism inherits the two genes, one from each parent, that means one from male and the other from the female. This means what? When somatic cells are produced from two gametes, one allele comes from the mother and the other from the father. If the two alleles differ, then one, the dominant allele, is fully expressed in the organism, as we spoke. The other, they segregate during gamete production. This is the last part of Mendel generalization. The two alleles of the organisms are separated in the different gametes, ensuring variations. Well, these three laws of the Mendel's will be studying while observing this the experimentation, how the experiments were made. Monohybrid cross. A hybridization using a single trait with two alleles. A cross between two individuals identically heterozygous at one gene pair, that is, for example, capital A small a into capital A and small a. These two heterozygotes crossed are done for the getting out the progeny in the next generation. Dihybrid cross. What is dihybrid cross? Well, you can see a cross between two individual identically heterozygous at two loci. See, the genes are located on the chromosome at a two loci, and when we look out the genotype of that genes, we come to know that the capital AB and smaller ab means that the two sets of genes are present in the organism, and in the same condition both the are crossed. So we find the example of a cross here: parents genotype and gametes. Well, so I am zooming out this that you may understand. See, the parent genotype, parent gametes, capital R and Y are denoted, and that is crossed with the smaller r and smaller y. Well, this gametophytes or gametotypes, gametes are put in the Punnett square for our understanding. Well, this two crossed, when it is done in F1 generation, what we get, that is capital R, smaller r, capital Y and smaller y. Now we segregate by fertilizing this self, and we get the F1 gametes, two of each. So we segregate it, that is here RY, pure one, smaller r, capital Y, capital R, smaller y, and smaller r, smaller y. So friends, when we put these phenotypes in the Punnett square, now look out, while see one of the male gametes, and on the other hand in the vertical column we see the female. So what we get when we crossed ry into capital ry, we get the pure character, that is the capital double R and capital Y. So look out at this color, which is shown with somewhat dull brown color, and in the green one you see that the round and green phenotype is shown, and well, in the yellow one, that is wrinkled and yellow phenotype, and the last one, that is the green one, that wrinkled and green phenotype. But this is the recessive one genes. Well, the pure one, that is the 9, count this boxes which is shown in this purple color: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. That is the 9 is to 3, 3 this green one, 9 is to 3, is to 3 yellow one 3, and is to 1, that is the last one, wrinkled and green phenotype. So we get the ratio, that is the 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. So friends, with this we'll be studying more in our next videos regarding detail of the monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, test back cross, and so on. We'll be also viewing the how to sort out the examples, and to find out the genotypes and phenotypes of a species which are crossed. So with this we stop our today's lecture. Till then, thank you very much.